Nippon Hoso Podcast Station。
今回のフレーズは厄介なんだよおめぇは厄介な難事件なんだよ。余計な感情が入りまくって、たとえ俺がホームズでも解くのは無理だろうぜ。好きな女の心を正確に読み取るなんてことはな。By putting my faves first, it puts me first. You feel me? わかりますか？推しを一番に押すことによって自分も一番大切にしてるんですよ。これが愛ですね。Anime English Club with Sal Yamaki. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of the Anime English Club. I'm your host, Sal Yamaki. よろしくお願いします。メールが届いてます。We've got mail. Mail from Ian. Thank you, Ian. Hey Sally, really enjoyed the past few episodes of the radio bangumi. As a big fan of anime music in general, I want to ask if Sally has a Mount Rushmore for anime songs. By the way, for me, it's Lion, Dream Solicitor, Change, and of course, 生きることに楽になりたい. Oh, Mount Rushmore. That is the first time I've heard this term っていうか You mean like the top four, right? Like the top four anime songs? すごいマウントラッシュモアはその偉人の方々ですか、お偉いさん、大統領さん4人ドンドンドンと本当ナルトのほかげみたいな感じがあるんですけど、そのこれ聞かれたのがサリはそのアニソンのマウントラッシュモアなんか一番トップ4はありますかって意味で聞かれてると思うんだけど、こんなおしゃれなトップ4の聞き方あるんですね。勉強になります。これからねトップ4聞かせてよじゃなくてね、マウントラッシュマー聞かせてよって言いたいと思います。これみんなで使ってこう。いいですね。My Mount Rushmore, I don't really have four top songs. I have one specific song that I say whenever people ask me, which is Core Pride by Uberworld. Literally any survey that I get for any radio shows or TV shows, asking me like, what's any song that changed your life? It would literally be Core Pride by Uberworld. It's a song from Alan Exorcist or Blue Exorcist. And in the lyrics, there's a lyric talking about the hardships of being a 15-year-old and, going through the changes. The very first time I heard the song, I was 15 years old. And I was like, this song is for me. This is my song now. So, yeah, that's why it's very important to me. Very lame reason. But I was like, oh, this is for me. This is written just for me. So, yeah, holds a very special place in my heart. But anyway, let's get into today's episode. Thank you, Ian, for your message. This week's episode, we're going to continue our Detective Conan or Case Closed series with one of the most memorable confession scenes in anime history. For those new to the series, Detective Conan is Gosho Aoyama's long-running masterpiece that began in 1994, with the anime adaptation starting in 1996 and still airing today. That is crazy. Can you imagine? Nowadays, series are usually 12 episodes, 24 to 26 at most. Nobody makes long animes anymore, but Detective Conan, One Piece, Sasai-san Doraemon, they're at it still. 30 years. It's crazy. Hi. So Detective Conan follows high school detective Shinichi Kudo, who was poisoned by criminals and transformed into a child. Now he lives as Conan while secretly investigating, but his childhood friend Run doesn't know his true identity. Hi. I used to love Kudo so much to the point that I had a classmate who had a last name, Kudo. I was so jealous of her. I was like, that is such a cool name. I want it too. But yeah, I really do love Conan. But anyway, let's dive straight into today's phrase from Shinichi Kudo. はい、いきます。今回のフレーズは厄介なんだよ、おめぇは厄介な難事件なんだよ。余計な感情が入りまくって、たとえ俺がホームズでも解くのは無理だろうぜ。好きな女の心を正確に読み取るなんてことはな。はい。 So in English, you're really troublesome. You're a troublesome and tough case, you know, with all these distracting emotions. Even if I were Holmes, it'll still be impossible to figure out the heart of the girl whom one likes. How can one accurately deduce that? So this confession happened during Shinichi's trip to London during the Holmes revelation, or Holmes no Mokushiroku arc. Ran was struggling with a mysterious case and called Shinichi for help. But he was cold and distant during their phone conversation. When she called again later, she heard Big Ben's chimes in the background and realized Shinichi was secretly in London too. Feeling hurt and betrayed, she ran away crying. Then Shinichi chased after her and caught her arm near Big Ben, where his emotions finally overcame his usual logical restraint. Hi. I love it when, like, logical characters kind of get emotional. Emotions are the best. はい。ですね。Yeah, so Shinichi was Conan during this time, so that's why he couldn't say that he was in London with Lun as well, because he had to hide his identity. ですね. But anyway. So this line, can you imagine? I don't know. Is this a good confession line, would you say? Let me imagine. I like somebody. No, you don't like me back. Let me go. Wait! You're really troublesome. I'd be like, what? Huh? Is this a confession or are we starting a fight? Like, what's going, what? But yeah, I would be so confused. But I mean, if it comes from Shinichi, I guess it's really cute. But anyway, so this line perfectly shows how Shinichi uses detective language to express his feelings. Hi, so many detective words. So line number 1, you're really troublesome. So troublesome means yakkai. So it's a bit more serious than using, you're really difficult or you're really annoying. Which you should never tell somebody that they're annoying if you're trying to confess. Kind of depends. If it's in a flirty way, actually, you're so annoying. You should use annoying, actually. Yeah, that's a good phrase to use. I'd be like, oh, really? But yeah. It's used for complex problems requiring careful handling. So it kind of shows how, なんだろう his feelings towards Ran, like he's trying to 一歩一歩石橋を叩いて渡りじゃないんですけど like he's very careful with the way he handles Ran. Like he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, but he wants to show that he loves her. But if he shows too much, like he's gonna know. But he has to, hide the fact that he's Conan. There's just so many things going on in his head right now. I guess you wouldn't think somebody is troublesome unless you have love for them. In this case, in this like confessing case, like they're troublesome. Like you think they're troublesome because you care about them, If you didn't care, you'd be like, I hate you. But yeah, he's just troublesome in that case. And next is tough case, nanjiken. So case in detective legal context. So yeah. Can you imagine though, like you're being told that you're like a case? You're such a tough case. Like, okay. I don't think Nan is a tough case. You know what? A lot of the times, people think that, their lover, whoever they like is a tough case. Nobody is a tough case. I just want flowers. じゃないですか? There's a phrase in English where it's like, I don't want you to get me flowers because I said get me flowers. I want you to get me flowers because you wanted to get me flowers. わかりますか? この深さ。男性スタッフさんはわからないみたいです。日本語で言うと、私がお花を欲しいって言ったからお花を買ってくるは嫌なのみたいな。私にお花をあげたいからお花を買ってきてほしいのっていう、その最終地点は私は結局お花を持ってるけど、そういうことじゃないんだよね。なんかもっとロマンチックなことしようよって言ったからロマンチックなことをするんじゃなくて、私とロマンチックなことをしたいからするがいいのみたいな。そっちで自発的にやってほしいのっていう ことですよね。だからここで何事件なんだよって言われても、何事件じゃないし、思ったままに動いてほしいんだしって感じですね。はい。So he tells Lan that she's a tough case. I don't think she's a tough case. I just think he's like, なんだろう、鈍感? Like, he needs to be a little bit more assertive, and that's what I think. See? Distracting emotions. 余計な感情ですね. So distracting is something that's like taking attention away from logical thinking. So shows how feelings interfere with reasoning ですね. Distracting emotions. なんだろう、distracting emotions って他に何か使えるかな? What's a distracting emotion? Whenever I want to buy a new anime merch, but I also know that I have water bills to pay. Like, I should be responsible with my money. But, like, there's new merch coming out. I'm like, nah, I shouldn't be thinking about my water bills right now. But I also should. Like, there's so many distracting emotions. Yeah, like, I can't, オタ活に一直線になれない. Like, I can't just be thinking about my oshi and my faves. I need to be thinking about my life. And I think my life is a distracting emotion. I don't like putting me first. I like putting my faves first. By putting my faves first, it puts me first. You feel me? わかりますか? 推しを一番に推すことによって自分も一番大切にしてるんですよ。これが愛ですね。深いでございます。はい。あとは、これ面白いなと思ったのが、accurately deduce 正確に読み取る。これなんだろう、あんまり使わないというか deduce accurately deduce. I don't think it's a phrase that is used commonly. But in this case, I think they used it to emphasize the fact that Shinichi is using very difficult Japanese, or like he's talking like a detective, you know? So it could be like, you know, accurately understand or like accurately read. Read could be good too. Like, I can't read your mind, you know? Like, I accurately read your mind. But they use deduce to make it more detective-y. I know I shouldn't use fake English words in an English-speaking podcast where people are actually trying to learn English. But you could, if you get more fluent with English, you could play around with your words. And so in this case, yeah, detective-y. 探偵っぽいっていうね。みんなも今度英語で遊んでみてください。はい。Next, pronunciation. So let's practice this week's pronunciation. まず日本語で。厄介なんだよ、おめぇは。おめぇは厄介な難事件なんだよ。余計な感情が入りまくって。たとえ俺がホームズでも解くのは無理だろうぜ。好きな女の心を正確に読み取るなんてことはな。Now in English.You're really troublesome. You're a troublesome and tough case, you know, with all these distracting emotions. Even if I were Holmes, it'll still be impossible to figure out the heart of the girl whom one likes. How can one accurately deduce that? もう一度ですね。You're really troublesome. You're a troublesome and tough case, you know, with all these distracting emotions. Even if I were Holmes, it'll still be impossible to figure out.The heart of the girl whom one likes. How can one accurately deduce that? 難しい。口の中もごもごになる言葉がいっぱいですね。This is hard. This pronunciation is hard for like native speakers as well. I feel like I had like a whole entire frog in my mouth right now. Alright, let's look at the words. So, なんだろう。troublesome. Troublesome があれですか troublesome.Troublesome. Oh, that's everything. Oh, whoops. Troublesome. もう一回言ってください。
Troublesome.
なんか犬ってたまにこういう音出しません？ like dogs, when they're told not to bark as loudly, they're like woof woof woof, and they're like shh. You know, like they have that little like they make that little like voice under their breath. Like that's the voice you should. That's the noise you should make for troublesome. Like you're barking, really like woof woof woof. Shh. Troublesome. 言いますよね troublesome. I feel like dogs say that. Troublesome. Hi. So pretend you're a dog and you're told to be quiet. That's how you say troublesome. Now, next. Tough case. Tough case.
Tough case.
そんな難しくないですね Tough case. Tough case. So it doesn't seem that hard. So just have confidence. Tough case. Tough case.
Tough case.
Oh yeah! Yes. Emphasis on T. Tough case. Tough. Especially because the f is like, it's airy, so emphasis on the T really helps. Tough case. T と C ですね Tough case. Next. Deduce. Wow, deduce. Deduce.
Deduce.
Oh, deduce. でも deduce その伸ばさないんですよ Don't elongate it that much. It's deduce. だからピュピュピュピュピュ deduce, 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 deduce ですね deduce, deduce, deduce. That's the tempo you want and that's the pronunciation you want as well. はい So thank you so much.
アニメイングリッシュクラブ with サリー・アマキ。
月替わりのパーソナリティが担当する土曜日のオールナイトニッポンポッドキャスト。9月はキャンディーチューンが担当。9月6日土曜日配信の回はスピリチュアルスピカは村川ビビアンとタイムキーパー桐原瑞希がお届け。分刻みのスケジュールでフリートークをしました。キャンディーチューンのオールナイトニッポンポッドキャスト最新回は土曜夕方6時から配信です。
Is this the end for the Conan, Detective Conan series? I just want to say, my love for Detective Conan brought me to Singapore. I think the movie in 2019 featuring Kaito Kito it took place in Singapore. I literally went on vacation to Singapore just so that I can do a little pilgrimage. 聖地巡礼したくて。なんですけど、But しかし, when I went to Singapore, I stayed at Marina Bay Sands. It was the hotel where Shinichi and everybody else stayed as well. But everywhere else, there was some sort of construction going on. めっちゃ工事してて, I couldn't see anything else other than Marina Bay Sands. I couldn't do any 聖地巡礼. I couldn't do any pilgrimage. Hi. So I spent hundreds of dollars just to float in the pool for Marina Bay Sands for like 4 days. Literally, it was an expensive pool. Hi, that was expensive water. It was like in the sky as well. Scary, but yeah, I really do love Conan. This year's movie, I think it features Ran's dad, Mori Kokoro. A++ movie. Please go watch it. It's still in theaters in Japan, so I do recommend it. 行ってみてください. So that's it for this episode of the Anime English Club. Next episode, we are going to be featuring Howl's Moving Castle from Studio Ghibli. 楽しみです。皆さんも映画なので見てくださいね。次のなんていうんですか？配信の前に。はい。ということで、You can listen to Anime English Club as a podcast and on YouTube where you can follow along with transcripts and subtitles. You can adjust the speed however you want and listen as many times as you need to get comfortable with English. Listening over and over is really the key to mastering any language. For Japanese and English subtitles, go to youtube.com/anime-english-club or just search by the title. Hi, and the Anime English Club wants to hear from you. Hi. Whether it is an anime you'd like us to cover or any phrases that you want or just grammar questions in general, please send us anything. Or if you just don't have anybody to talk to, I'm here for you. So please just send everyday messages as well. We will read it. Email us at aec@1242.com. aec@1242.com. You can email me in either Japanese or English. メールは日本語でも英語でも OK です。でも今もうすでに1通届いてるのでちょっと最後だけど読みたいと思います。はい。 I should have read this in the beginning. Sorry. はい、we're gonna read it. 誰からだ？ペンネーム、Late Tapioca Bloomer さん。ありがとうございます。サリーさん、いつも楽しくポッドキャストを聞いています。ありがとうございます。ところで、サリーさんが translate というとき、トランスレートと言っているように聞こえます。本当だ。私はこれまでずっとトランスレートだと思っていました。辞書で調べると、どちらもあるみたいですが、アメリカのネイティブの方はトランスレートの方を多く使うのでしょうか？ translate。確かにどっちも合ってるけど、私の場合、サシスセソがとても抜けやすい滑舌をしているので、より一層聞きやすいために、それこそラジオとかでも、ポッドキャストとかでも、電波に乗るために図にちょっとしちゃってる感があります。translate。なんか、図の方が感覚止まってる感じありません？ translate だと、スでやっぱ、歯から抜け切っちゃってるんですよ。息が。translate。なので、ちょっと息多めになっちゃって、あんま配信向きじゃないなと思うので、極力 SL が続いてるところは Z にしてますね。translate ですね。はい。でもどちらも合ってます。あんまアメリカネイティブだからこっちとかっていうのはないですね。どっちも使って OK でございます。translate。イエスとも translate の方があるんですよね。translate。なんか translate だとどこにもなんて言うんですか、どこにも力を入れてない感じ、なんか流れちゃう translate。 でも translate だと Z にパンチを言いながら話してる感じですね。translate。英語って本当にいろんな発音の仕方があるというか、同じ言葉でも人によって potato ポテトのことをポテトでもあと tomato これはよくなんていうの、potato tomato っていうワンフレーズがあるんですよ。なんかなんだろう、まあなんかどっちも一緒だよみたいな時に言いたい時に、まあその君が言ってることなんかどっちも一緒だよって言わず、そんなのもpotato tomato みたいな言い方が違うだけでなんか一緒のことじゃんみたいな感じの時に tomato potato どっちでもいいよねみたいな。かっこいいですよね。使ってください。tomato potato。でも私、今まで生きてる中でガチでポテトなんて言ってる人聞いたことないんですけど。トマトも聞いたことないな。しかもやるときにこうやってくださいね。この首横に振ってください。この、どうでもいいよを出すためにみんなやってます。tomato potato。It's whatever って。でもっとネイティブになります。やっぱネイティブスピーカーって体使うんですよね。私めちゃくちゃ最初英語を話してる感じで日本語話してたらめっちゃ身振り手振りすごいねって言われてましたもん。なので気をつけないとですね、言語によってね変わっていくので、はい、いっぱいパッションで話していけたら、もう今週のフレーズ知っているだけでももうきっと世界旅行できる気がするので、レッツ頑張ってください。はい、終わりです。ということで皆さん、乙女心は別にそんな難事件じゃないと思うので、ただただストレートに愛を伝えてくださいね。全然名探偵っぽいこと何も教えてないんですけど、はい、ぜひともいっぱい、show your love, tell your love to everybody around you. Thank you. From the Nippon Hoso Podcast Station, this is the Anime English Club, hosted by me, Sao Yamaki.This episode was directed by Kensuke Yoshida and produced by Shiori Tanaka of Nippon Broadcasting System, Japan.